One day, Simba, the sun will set on my time here and will rise with you as the new king.
Mufasa was up to something, and we have uncovered clear evidence that he faked his own death to make it happen. Yeah, let that sink in for a second. The noble king, the loving father, the majestic protector of the Pride Lands who gave us goosebumps with that thunderous voice, he may have seen his death coming and chose not to stop it. It's a notion that sounds completely unthinkable at first, but for those of us who grew up watching The Lion King 100 times and then watched the remake just to compare, the idea starts to whisper something interesting the more you think about it. You remember the scene, don't you? The one that left an emotional scar on all of us. Mufasa clings to the cliff, eyes wide, desperate but calm, as Scar looms over him. Scar whispers that cruel phrase, "Long live the king," before shoving him into the stampede. Cue trauma, cue Simba's heartbreak, cue all of us crying into our popcorn. But what if that moment wasn't just the result of Scar's evil plan? What if Mufasa, in all his wisdom, knew it was coming? What if he allowed it? Let's rewind a bit. From the opening scene of The Lion King, you're hit with that unforgettable circle of life sequence. Rafiki lifts Simba, the animal's bow. The sun shines on Pride Rock. It's iconic. But something's off. Scar doesn't show up. Everyone is there. Everyone, except Mufasa's own brother, who is second in line to the throne. That's not just rude, it's downright suspicious. So what does Mufasa do? Storm the den? Lock him up? Nope.
Sarabi and I didn't see you at the presentation of Simba.
That was today?
He pays Scar a visit and gives him a light scolding, then Mufasa walks away like it's just another moody sibling moment. But this isn't just a bad-tempered uncle we're talking about. This is Scar, the same lion who openly resents Simba's existence. The one who aligns himself with hyenas, the Pride Land's natural enemies. And yet, Mufasa lets him roam free. He keeps Scar within the Pride Lands, knowing full well what kind of danger he poses. And that's where this suspicion starts gaining real traction. Think about it. Mufasa knows Scar is a threat. He knows Scar didn't come to the presentation of his heir, and that Scar is bitter about losing his place in the line of succession. This isn't new information. It's been there from the beginning. So why wasn't Scar banished? Or at least watched closely? Let's talk about Simba. Sweet, playful, brave Simba. From the moment he can talk, he's being groomed to take over the throne. But he's also easily influenced. Naive, even.
Uncle Scar, when I'm king, what'll that make you?
A monkey's uncle.
You're so weird.
He looks up to Scar. He even calls him Uncle Scar, with that innocent affection only a cub can give. And somehow Mufasa lets this relationship flourish. Seriously, what responsible king lets his only heir hang out unsupervised with someone who has openly declared jealousy and disdain for him? It gets worse. When Scar tempts Simba into visiting the elephant graveyard, a place Mufasa specifically forbade, Mufasa's reaction is mostly one of disappointment, not fury. He saves him, yes. He gives him a fatherly lesson about bravery and responsibility. But Scar's involvement? Not a word. No interrogation, no consequence. Scar isn't punished. In fact, Scar barely even hides his hand in the whole thing. So again, why would Mufasa allow this? Was he too trusting? Too noble to see the darkness in his own brother? Or did he already know what Scar was capable of and allow events to unfold? Now let's look at the gorge scene. Simba, once again, is in danger. And guess who put him there? Scar, who tells Simba to wait there for a surprise from Mufasa. What kind of surprise involves a thundering stampede of wildebeests? Scar knew Mufasa would come running to save his son. It was the perfect trap. But when Mufasa does arrive, there's something almost deliberate in his actions. He doesn't hesitate. He dives in alone, with no strategy and no backup. You'd think the king of the Pride Lands, who commands an entire pride of lions and has a bird scout at his service, would have called for more help. Something, anything. But no. He goes alone. He rescues Simba and then tries to escape. When he leaps up to the cliff, clinging for his life, Scar is right there, and Mufasa pleads with him. But he doesn't fight. He doesn't try to pull Scar down, he doesn't call him out. Instead, he locks eyes with his brother and accepts it. Almost like he knew this was how it had to be. So now you're asking, why would Mufasa let this happen? Why not stop it before it got this far? Well, maybe Mufasa believed in something bigger than himself. He constantly talks about the circle of life, not just as a food chain, but as a spiritual, cosmic balance. He believed everything has its time. Maybe deep down he saw the coming storm and chose not to interfere. Because he knew that for Simba to become king, not just in title, but in heart, he'd need to face loss, exile, and eventually, triumph. Simba had to run away. He had to grow up outside of the Pride Lands, free from pressure, so he could return stronger. Scar's tyranny had to ruin the kingdom so the animals could see the difference between a king born of pride and a king born of pain. Maybe Mufasa believed that his own death would become the catalyst for Simba's true journey. And look at how it plays out. After his death, Mufasa doesn't disappear. He becomes a literal force of nature, appearing in the clouds, speaking from the stars. Remember who you are. Not just fatherly advice. It sounds like the voice of someone who planned this all along. And remember Rafiki? Even he seems to know what's going on more than he lets on. When he tells Simba the king has returned, it feels like he too had been waiting for this exact moment. Like this wasn't an accident, but destiny finally falling into place. So maybe Mufasa didn't just die. Maybe he sacrificed himself so his son could live, learn, and rule with wisdom born from pain. It's just speculation, sure, but one worth thinking about the next time you rewatch The Lion King. Don't just focus on Scar's betrayal or Simba's journey. Pay attention to the quiet moves of a king who saw the darkness on the horizon and embraced it so the dawn could come after. Because what if the great king didn't fall by surprise? What if he bowed out on purpose? Whether Mufasa was a tragic hero or a lion with a secret plan, one thing's for sure. There's more to The Lion King than Disney let on. And if you're the kind of fan who loves peeling back the layers, questioning the truth, and diving deep into wild but maybe true theories, you're in the right place. Hit that subscribe button and join the pride. Because we're just getting started. And trust me, there's a lot more where this came from.